Hi guys, it's Becca. So today I'm going to be doing a retail horror story video. I have loved all of the storytime videos I've seen on YouTube. I'm obsessed with hearing any kind of interesting stories. So I thought, why not make a video embarrassing myself and telling you guys the horror stories that I have lived through retail. And don't get me wrong, I love working at Bath & Body Works, but with all the good and amazing customers that I come along, you do get those moments where you're like, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. So these stories were not only a huge learning experience for me, but if you're going to work in retail or if you're working in retail and you can relate to these, then I hope it's helpful somehow. Hope you're entertained by these stories. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first story that I have for you guys is something that in the moment I was so mad at myself and I was crying, so it was a really bad moment, but it was probably the biggest learning experience that I had working. So it was probably the first few months that I was working, and I was hired for holiday, and I had no training on the register before that job. I didn't work any kind of register, so the register was just new to me. And I am horrible at math, so I was just scared to even use it. I just didn't want to mess up or anything. I wanted to practice basically in days where it was slow so I can get the hang of it without feeling super anxious and nervous. So this night we were closing and it was really slow, and I think the last customer we had I was ringing up, and he only bought $12 worth of stuff, so his total was $13. And when I told him his total, he gave me a $100 bill, and so I typed in 100 in the register and clicked cash. And once you click cash, the register drawer opened, and say a customer wanted to change their mind on the amount that they give you, you have to post void the whole thing and start over, because the computer already thinks that you're putting in the original amount, and that's kind of common sense. So as the register opened, he goes, wait, I can give you exact cash. And I was like, okay, 1 second. So I went to the back to get my manager because I knew she had to post void the whole transaction. We had to start over and stuff. And as she came back, the guy was like, no, it's fine, just give me my change back. So I was like, okay. So I gave him his change back. It was $87 or something like that. And night goes on. I was kind of flustered already because I just didn't like messing up. I don't like being in the position where I don't know what I'm doing, but I obviously have to go through that in order to be where I am now. We're straightening the store and getting ready to leave, and then my manager comes up to me and she was like, so we're short by a lot in the register. And I was like, what does this mean? And she was like, well, I looked at the video because we have cameras in our store, and I saw that before you came to me, you gave him his $100 bill back. So I was like, oh shit. So basically I gave the guy $187 back, and I think he figured out that I was new, so he had a feeling that I forgot that I gave him his $100 bill back, so he tried to see if he could get the extra money, and it worked. So super embarrassing, but that moment made me so much better at the register. I am so in focus now, and I take it so seriously. Not that I didn't then, but like I said, it was just my learning experience on the register. Alright, second thing that happened to me was last year on our $8 candle sale. We're gonna have that this year again. I think it's gonna be, I don't know when they don't even tell us when it's gonna be, but I think it's gonna be around the first time of December. But so for those of you that love candles, check out your emails and online and stuff like that. But anyways, the $8 candle sale last year was so much busier than Black Friday, and we prepare for Black Friday, so when $8 candle sale day hit us, it was insane. There was a line at the door almost the whole day. By the end of the day, all of our candles were gone. So if that tells you anything, people were literally just grabbing any candle and buying it. So around noon, a customer came up to me, and I was a floater this day. I was just going around the store helping customers look for candles and give them bags and stuff like that. And at around noon, a customer came up to me with 2 crates of candles, and this day we had our crates out that we use in shipment, or it's the crates that come in the shipment boxes when we get candles in, and each crate holds 6 candles. So she came up to me with 2 crates and she was like, I have to go to work, I don't have time to stand in this line, can you hold this in the back for me please? And I was like, okay, and I got her name and everything. Now we're not allowed to hold stuff in the back for the reason that I'm gonna tell you, but not for that reason, but for like, it just gets too overwhelming in the back room for us to hold a lot of stuff, especially on days like that. So basically, I put her stuff in the back, I wrote a note, and I put it right on top of the candles, and I said 12 candles on hold for and her name. So, and then there were also a lot of new girls working this day, and they were mostly just doing like shipment stuff, so bringing all the candles out on the floor and stuff. And so I went back to work, and literally like 15 minutes later, I had the weirdest feeling that the candles were gone, or they were going to be put back on the floor, and one of the new girls wasn't going to like read the sign correctly. So I went back there to just like check on them, and what do you know, half of the candles are gone. So like only the top crate under the note was left, the bottom crate was put back out, and I was like, oh God, are you kidding me? And I didn't even think of memorizing the candles or anything like that, because now I do. But so I went on the floor and I went up to the main girl that was putting all the candles out, and I was like, so did you put back a crate of candles that was under a sign that said it was on hold for a customer? And she was like, well, yeah, but I thought the note was only for the top crate. And I was like, no, it said 12 candles on there, and each crate holds 6 candles. And she was like, oh yeah, I put it back. And I was like, okay. I was freaking out by this point. It might not seem like a huge deal, but I just didn't want to let any customers down, and I didn't want to look unprofessional to anyone. So I was like, what the hell can I do? Because I knew by the time this woman came back, we probably weren't going to have the candles that she had now. So I went and I looked at all her candles, and I was like, I'm just gonna get 2 of each candle. So I loaded up another crate with the same candles that she had, and I was like, at least I know I'm getting ones that she likes, so when she comes back, she's gonna have 12 candles. So I go on with my day, still super flustered by that. Like I said, I don't like messing up. So I had told everyone I worked with the whole story in case she came in and talked to one of them. I had told all of my coworkers and my manager and everything of what happened in case when she would come back after I clocked out. And I basically had told them to just blame me, to give her my name and everything because it was my fault and all this stuff. And so I was getting ready to clock out, and I was kind of relieved that I didn't have to confront her because I was so scared. But then as I was leaving, my coworker comes up to me and she was like, is there anything on hold back here for, and then said her name, and I was like, oh my God, like I was not ready for this. But now when I think about it, it's like such a good thing that she came when I was there, because it's just, I don't know if anyone else could have worded it wrong and made her even more mad than she could have been. So basically, I go out there with her candles and I put them down on the counter, and I was like, I am so sorry, but half of your candles were accidentally put back and it's completely my fault. Like, I take all the fault. And when I noticed, I picked 6 extra candles for you just so you had 12 candles in the end, and just kind of explaining it to her and literally looking at her in the eye to like let her know that I was so sincerely sorry. And she was kind of like, in the beginning I was like scared because she looked like one of those customers that would get mad. But after I told her, she was like, okay, well actually I meant to get 2 of each candles. So, and then I was like, oh my God, like how did I pull this off? Like I don't know how. And I still felt bad, so I was like, you know what, just wait 1 sec. I had 4 candles on hold for me that day, and they were all new candles that only came out for this day, and they were sold out. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna offer her, I'm gonna see if she wants my candles and maybe it'll make her feel better. So I went in the back and I got my candles and I gave them to her, and I was like, if you want, you can have them. I just feel so bad. I was like, I don't need these and all this stuff. And she was like, are you serious? And got so happy, and I was like, but At least she wasn't upset. That was the whole thing. Now I make sure, like, I tell everyone who I'm working with that this item or these items are going to be on hold and all this stuff, and we have like a section in the back where we put items that are being held. We just can't hold them for like super busy days because it gets really hectic. So that was the second story. The other ones are just kind of like little random moments that I'm like literally like, are you kidding me? Like, why did I say this? But this actually happened twice. I don't know how I let it happen twice because I don't think. And so basically I was ringing up a mom and she had her child with her, and she kind of just had her head on the counter like this, so all I saw was her head and her hair. And as I was like putting her stuff in her bag, like getting ready for her or whatever, I was like, oh, she is so cute. And when I said that, it got like really awkward. The mom didn't say anything. She almost looked offended, and I was kind of like, okay, well, that's very awkward. And when she was leaving, she picked her daughter up, and it was a boy. And he just had long hair, so like I assumed that it was a girl because that's all I saw. But I was like, why would you get like so awkward and angry for that? Like, I wouldn't ever say anything like to insult. Anyway, but that happened a second time. Don't know how I let it happen. Now I'm not calling anyone a he or she because it just gets so complicated. So if you guys want me to do any more of these kind of videos, just let me know in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed. Bye.